When friendships end, how to heal and move forward. So, we're going to be talking about friendship breakups. That's not something we talk about often, but we're going to have a very open conversation about that. Friendship breakups. So, I know a lot of times I talk about Black women and toxic jobs, but to let you know that this October, this month, I'm going to be talking about different forms of bullying because October is Bullying Prevention Month. And we're going to be talking about different forms of bullying or negative experiences. Today, we're going to talk about friendships. And it's kind of hard to believe that people that you trust and people that you really like, you cool with, it could turn out to be a very negative situation. So I'm so excited that we have Alecia Renece here with us today. Yay. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Kamani. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist, a toxic job survivor, but more importantly, I'm a toxic job liberator for Black women. And with Marissa Price, we have created the Job Liberation Virtual Summit for Black women, in which we helped over 300 Black women to freedom. Alecia was one of our speakers, and I see Marissa's in the house. Hey, Marissa. So the summit is available on replay now. So we help Black women with replacing their income, what's about their health insurance, their retirement, life insurance, all those things, and so much more. If you're interested about that, that will be in the description section. So ladies, as you are coming to this room, please give this video a thumbs up because you know it's going to be good. Okay. So Alecia, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Kimani, for having me. I'm Alecia. I am an artist. I'm a human being. Yes, and I create art for my feelings. So I really enjoy feeling. I really enjoy all those things that make me, me, that make me human. And I create art out of it. I talk about things. Yeah, and I enjoy life. So that's
Yes.
who I am.
Thank you. And actually, Alicia inspired this video because I was watching her lives, and if you have not watched Alicia's videos, you need to watch her videos.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so please go to her YouTube channel, subscribe as well, Alecia Renece The Artist. So one of the videos, she was talking about friendship breakups, and I was like, huh, yes, I've had that too, but we don't talk about that. So Alicia, can you share? Why are friendship breakups so painful? We know about romantic relationship breakups. We don't talk about friendship breakups. Why are those so painful?
Yeah. So friendships to me matter more to me than romance. Romantic relationships are underneath the friendships for me. It's almost on par with family, and I think because the contract is different, right? When you're in a
Mhm,
romantic relationship, it kind of feels like, oh, as long as we choose to be romantic partners together, we will be
mhm,
together, right?
mhm,
With friendship, it's different, or with family, it's different because what
mhm.
connects you is something different, right? It's your soul. It's like even though I think romance ideally should be based on friendship, a lot of
Mhm.
times it's not. And so when we're talking about friendships, it's really about like, oh, you see my soul, you see something in me, and you accept me, and you're also not trying to. It's not like a transactional thing in an ideal sense, right? Like it's
Right.
like I choose to be with you, and so
Yes.
I think when friendships break up, it feels kind of like a violation. It feels like a death. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it feels like someone died, but they
Yeah.
didn't die.
Yeah.
They're alive and walking the earth. But this life that we planned together, one of the friends that I broke up with, and we'll talk about that later, I'm sure. But one of
Mhm.
the friends I broke up with, we talked about what we would do for each other at each other's weddings.
Wow.
Like we're in the future talking about being old ladies making art together.
Oh.
And I think also for me, my relationships for me,
Mhm.
there's no difference between like I don't do a hierarchy thing. Like you are my friend. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like you are my friend. And so if you are my friend, you are someone that I love. You are someone that
Mhm.
I trust.
Mhm.
And I think when those relationships end, when they
Mhm.
break up, I should say, not just end, when they
Yeah.
break up in ways that are violent, it really feels like a violation of some sort of contract that we have. Of like,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, that betrayal of trust and just not. And I think what's difficult too with friendship breakups is that you don't really anticipate that, right? It's not something that you kind of like, oh well, I'm coming into this relationship and something could happen. No, with a friendship, you're thinking this is for life. This is my friend for life. And then when it doesn't turn out that way, it feels devastating. So, Alicia, can you please share with us about maybe a friendship breakup you had, and we'll kind of walk through the stages of how'd you know you needed to break up, like the whole thing. What was going on that, you were like, I don't know, this is not working out too well.
Yeah. So I forget the year at this point, but I was sexually assaulted, and my friends knew the person who did that to me.
Wow.
When that happened, I told these were let me go back. These are my line sisters, right? This
Okay.
example that I'm giving.
Okay.
We crossed together in 2010,
Mhm.
and a few years later, I was sexually assaulted by a brother in our
Oh my
organization.
gosh.
And so, yeah. And so I came to one of my friends and I told her what happened. And the first thing she said to me was, he only did that to you because he misses his girlfriend.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. And so
Wow.
yeah, like that response, I wasn't prepared for that. Like, I don't know
Mhm.
what I was prepared for, but it wasn't that, right? Like,
Yes.
I don't think that I
Oh my.
wanted her. Yeah, like I didn't want her to like go and harm anybody, but I needed to be witnessed. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I needed someone to bear witness to my pain.
Yes.
Um, and so when I told her, that wasn't the response that I was expecting. But I think because of everything that was going on, that was like on the least, that was like on the lower list of things that I was
Yeah.
worried about.
Yeah.
But over time, I realized that we would have gatherings, and he would be invited to those gatherings.
No, Alicia.
Yep.
Oh my God.
So I had to stay around him,
Oh
and
my God.
I thought we were friends. Obviously we weren't, but even trying to change that language, I thought we were friends, but the whole time, like, I don't know what he was doing. And so I never hung out with him one on one again. But when my friends started bringing over him to our hangouts, our gatherings, cookouts,
Oh
graduations,
my God.
yeah, yeah. Like, it really felt like they were expecting me to swallow my pain to make them comfortable, to almost feel like, so that they almost felt like nothing happened, like nothing had to change. You know what I mean?
Wow. Wait, wait,
Yeah.
wait. Oh my God. Okay. I need to compose myself because I didn't even know it was that, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. I'm sorry.
first,
I
no,
should
no,
have
no.
gave a trigger warning.
First, no, no, no. First, I want to say, I'm so sorry that happened to you.
I
The
appreciate that.
assault and then how the friends treated you, right? That really touched me deeply.
I'm sorry.
The other thing is they were dehumanizing your experience.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to give voice to that.
No, I appreciate that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And
So,
so these things kept happening and they were just very insensitive. And so as these very insensitive things were happening to you, what kind of things were you saying to yourself about these so-called friends or that friend?
literally, I was saying, I'm too much. Yep. I wasn't even looking at them like they were wrong. I was looking at me like I
Mm,
was wrong. Like, somehow I was wrong for being in pain because they reminded me that my
mhm.
pain was unsightly. Like, it wasn't, it didn't make them comfy. I had a line sister tell me, I told her that I was going through depression. I was really struggling with,
Mhm.
wanting to still be alive.
Mhm.
And her response to me was, well, this is why nobody wants to talk to you, because yeah, because nobody wants to hear that sad stuff. And if you're really depressed, you should just talk to God, because God is your counselor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Something that serious.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So then you had the thought and then it was reinforced by people around you.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so was that part of what contributed to the depression you were experiencing?
Oh, for sure. Like, when
Yeah.
I look back on that, like, they were not a safe environment, and they were triggering my depression that I already had, by the way. But this
Yeah.
but this was already like triggering something else. And I didn't know, but my line sister in that conversation told me that she and all my other line sisters had like a separate group chat, and they were talking about me, and she was being the representative and just all this stuff. And basically she said if I didn't press charges, then I should stop talking about it. So,
Wow. You
yeah, so
know
I just
what?
stopped talking about it.
This is like the epitome of Mean Girls.
Yeah. Yeah, and
They
I
had
didn't.
a whole separate chat. And
Yes.
these were your sorority sisters. These were your line sisters.
Yep. And I don't have sisters, right? And I always wanted sisters. And I think a part of the reason that I was holding on so desperately is because when I call you sister, I mean that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean that.
Yeah.
And for them, I had been there for their everything, like all the tragedy that was ever in their life, I was there for. That's the kind of friend I am. You pick up the phone, I'm
Mhm.
on my way. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
drop everything, I'm on my way.
Mhm.
But I realized that my role in our relationship was to be used by them, but never to need help. Like,
It
I
wasn't
am the
reciprocal.
help.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
So we just discard you because you weren't really serving our purpose.
right.
And you know what? Oh my God. Okay. The ultimate mean girl was to tell you these things, to tell you that we have a separate group chat without
Mm-hmm.
you and you must be the problem. And it's almost like they were trying to break you in many
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, that's
Yeah.
just evil. That is
Yeah.
evil. And so, how did you come to terms with what was happening? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you were starting to think, oh my God, I'm too much. Then Mean Girl 2.0 and all the rest of them
Mm-hmm.
kind of fell in line, Mean Girl, Mean Girl.
Mm-hmm.
How did you come to the process of realizing this is a problem? Like these people are not my friends and I need to move. I need to
Yeah.
shift from them.
It was, they actually broke up with me as a group. You no longer, yeah, we no longer want to be your friend. You're too much. Um, and what made, like, the whole story is so complicated because one of my line sisters was actually interested in the guy who sexually assaulted me, and she thought that I did that to betray her or something like that. That's not
Wow.
the kind of person that I am, and also that's, anyway. and and I think, though, like, there were many fractures along our relationship that I
Mm,
didn't notice were fractures until it
uh-huh.
had all fell apart, right? Like,
Okay.
the same line sister, she had cussed me out one time, right? And for me, you know, I was taught to be very forgiving and all this other stuff, like, and she apologized, and she would do this often. She would do and say mean things and then
Like the
apologize and say,
honeymoon, the abusive cycle, right?
yes,
The
yes.
honeymoon blow up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So can you talk a little bit? Because I think that Black women watching this can relate. Maybe some friend or maybe their friend they had their back. What were those many things that happened
Mm-hmm.
that now when you look back and you're like, oh, right? Because when it's happening in the moment, a lot of times we miss it.
Mm-hmm.
But what were those many things like the progression?
Yeah. So they were violations that I look back on now where I literally had to cut myself in half. I could not be a full person, a full human being having a human experience around them. So there's this image that I've shared before, but it's like me sitting in a spoon. Like, it's like photo composition that I made where I'm sitting in a spoon. That's how I felt like in those relationships. I felt like I had to shrink in order to be loved. So
Wow.
it was the tone of that. It was the mean girl stuff, talking about me on, at the time, Twitter, and like, talking about me, and then when I confront you about it, you then say, "Oh no, that wasn't me," but then you apologize about it later. And so I think over
Gaslighting.
time, yeah, yes, and you literally feel like you're losing your mind because
Wow.
now you feel like, oh, am I doing too much? Am I reading too much into this? But one thing I will say is that my intuition never lied.
Mm.
The entire time, you're not safe here. These
Mm.
people are not, whatever. But I wasn't taught to really stand up for myself in that way. Not
Um,
really.
so your
Um,
intuition was saying, this is not right.
mhm.
So what was the other message you said to yourself? That was the
Yeah.
one. But
Yeah.
then what did you say to yourself to continue to stay?
Yeah. If everyone hates you, you're the problem.
Wow.
Hmm.
Okay.
If
Okay.
everyone hates you, then you're the one that's wrong. Like, because
Uh,
it's like five against one. So,
wow.
yeah. And
Okay.
other people that they had roped in too, to like, maybe telling people half truths and not the whole story. And so, like, they hear about what's happening, but then they come to me and tell me, like, well, maybe you should just X, Y, and Z. No, 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 no.
So they were
No.
conspiring against you too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yes.
So these things happen, and then can you tell us what was you said they ended up saying we're not your friends anymore? Like how did that even happen?
So it happened kind of one by one. There was, so that one sister, the one line sister, who basically said, God is your counselor. You shouldn't need counseling. Her husband actually told me that we could no longer be friends anymore. Yeah, in that whole situation, I'm afraid for her, honestly, to be
Her
quite honest
husband?
with you.
No, okay, back up.
Yes,
What? Her husband contacted you and told you that? Okay,
absolutely, he
that's
did.
disturbing too.
It is
Yeah.
disturbing. It is disturbing.
Wow.
So but yeah, so he told me that she couldn't be. He told me in an email, we can't be friends
What?
anymore. Yes,
Wow.
this is bizarre. It's bizarre.
Wow.
I had never experienced anything like that in my life. And another sister, again, this sister who was interested in the guy who assaulted me, basically told me that I set myself up for that and it's my fault. And so because of that situation, she had started to put a wedge between us anyway and was like kind of
Um,
removing herself slowly from our friendship.
mm,
And then other other line sisters kind of fell in line with them. The whole thing kind of came apart. It was one evening that we were just having a sister hangout. My line sister told me to tell everybody how I felt so that we can mend the relationship, so that we can, not bury the hatchet, but like talk
Clear
through our
the
issues.
air.
Right, clear the
Yeah.
air.
Mm-hmm.
It was a setup. I got there, I started speaking, and 5 people were jumping down my throat because apparently this same line sister who like, oh, it's a safe place. You can share your stuff with us. You can share your story and your heart with us. She told them basically with the tone of like, she's so annoying, that Alicia's basically a victim. Like she's in her victim mentality, and they all basically ganged up on me at this meeting, and I was crying. I felt so
Victimized. Now you were being victimized.
yes,
So they were the perpetrators,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So there's, oh my God.
yeah,
So, it sounds like, to me, I'm not in a sorority, but it sounds like a bad hazing
yes,
experience.
yes, yes. Like,
Wow.
if you want to be friends with us, this is what you have to do. And what they
We're
were
going to
asking of
break
me,
you.
yep, yep. And if you were to, and if I were to say no, or if I were to have a boundary, they would make me give on my boundaries, but they would never give on their boundaries. And it's not even wasn't even a boundary. It was like, you're the problem. It was just this group think, this group belief. And so when that happened, I think it was that moment where I said, but also my husband, I'm not gonna lie, my husband was also like, these friends are awful. There were other,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So you had other people telling you.
Yep. At some point he was like, because I think on some level, like men try to stay out of like, okay, I don't know what this is. Like you might be having a little tiff today and tomorrow y'all fine. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I think for him, it was like, no, like I'm seeing you be abused literally by these people.
Mm.
And he would be in the rooms with us. My line sisters would come up to me. I went to an engagement party for one of them. Another line sister came up to me crying, apologizing for how she treated me, and then treated me the same way the next day and said that it was a lot. So he saw this cycle. I also had other friends who were hearing me talk about these situations, and they also knew these people, and they were also like, you deserve better than this. So it took other people to really give myself permission to like be like, oh, what you see is true. What you're saying is true. What you're feeling is real.
But you had a hard time believing what they said initially because
I had a hard time because I thought they loved me. I thought they had my best interest at heart. I thought that we were friends. Everything wasn't bad. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't bad all the time, but when it was bad, it was bad. And so I think I held on to those good times of like, oh no, like this is love. And also, to be fair, Dr. Kimani, I think in my experience with relationships, rocky relationships with people that you love is very, very normal for me. Like I grew up in an abusive household. And so that I'm very used to that. I'm very used to having to, placate the abuser. I'm very used to having to, fawn, and I wasn't allowed to really have a say, or I was always told to hold my tongue. So I wasn't really in practice of defending myself. I really didn't know what that looked like. And so I was just falling, failing and trying again. So
yeah, because it sounds like you reverted back to the little girl, Alecia, when that was happening. Remind you of that abused, hurt little girl who maybe tried to make sense of what was happening. Was, oh, I was a problem, and now we fast forward and it's adult. You're an adult around adult women and still trying to make sense of it.
Yeah,
and the bullying though that you experienced by them. What's so interesting is. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to ask this question. When we think about sororities, many people think of it as like it's a sisterhood, right? So I talk about sisterhood all the time, and how I believe in sisterhood, but sometimes sisterhood goes wrong, right? And this is an example of how sisterhood goes wrong. So when sisterhood goes wrong, or when it went wrong for you, how did it then impact how you viewed other Black women after the situation? Because some Black women get very jaded and they say, oh, I can't trust Black women, or sisterhood is not anything, or, and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Not, what I'm saying? But how did that impact you and your thoughts about sisterhood?
I don't think that I had thoughts of like, oh, Black women can't be trusted. I'm done with Black women. I had too many examples of Black women that I love, like to even begin to believe that Black women are somehow awful. That wasn't my experience. But how it did impact me, though, is that I was afraid to be perceived. I was afraid to meet new friends. Like I was afraid to be seen by other people because I didn't want to be rejected. And even now, like I'm still dealing with like people seeing me for who I really am because I'm afraid that they're not going to like what they see. Like I'm afraid, like even though like people, honestly, I'm just being honest, like
Mhm.
people are so kind to me and they say such kind things to me, and sometimes it's hard when it lands because I'm like, am I? When I get a compliment from people, my fear is that I'm going to let them down somehow. Like I'm going to lose their trust, because
Mhm.
when you give me a compliment, it's something it's something you're entrusting me with, right? Like if you say
Mhm.
that I'm a trustworthy person, like
Mhm.
that means something to me. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I want to make sure that I am in integrity. And so I
Yeah.
think the fear of being abandoned, the
Mm.
fear of being much, the fear of being too human and too feeling and too emotional, and all the
Mhm.
things that that friend group made me feel keeps
Mhm.
me from actually digging deeper into relationships right now with women. Like it's not necessarily I don't trust you, I don't
Mhm.
trust myself. Like I'm relearning how to trust myself and trust that I am safe and that I am okay, and that
Yeah.
even if people do leave, that it doesn't mean that I'm like a person worthy of being thrown away, you know?
Mhm.
So yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so the other friends you had around you who were like, these people are no good, like they're not your friends.
Mhm.
Um, when that other friend group, well, I don't even call it a friend group, when that situation ended,
Mhm.
did you lean more into these other friends you had, or was there still that distancing for a period of time?
It was definitely a distancing for a period of time. When everything fell apart, uh, it was one day one of the line sisters basically said, "I'm sorry I ever gave you the." She literally said this. "I'm sorry I ever gave you the opinion that I care about what you're sharing with me." Um, that was a
Alicia,
very yes.
what?
This is a
Oh
person that also asked. I didn't offer. I because I'm afraid of being too much. I don't offer my things. When people ask me or the conversation opens, then I share. But like she had asked me, "Oh, what's going on with this situation? How are you feeling? Like what's going on with the Line Sisters?" And I told her, and her immediate response was like, "Okay, that's enough. Sorry I ever gave you the opinion that I actually care about what you feel or think."
Oh
And
my God. I'm like, who are these people?
yes.
Wow.
I was like, who are these people? Okay. Because I don't know who that
Wow.
was.
Oh my gosh. I said to
Yeah.
myself, wow, what horrible people. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, what happened to those people? Why did they end up like this? They are truly traumatized,
Yeah.
miserable people to treat you like that. And,
Yeah.
and the thing about it too, Alicia, how long ago was this?
Ooh. When everything fell apart, maybe, what is 2024? Maybe 2017, 18, 19,
Mm-hmm.
around that year. Yeah.
Hmm.
17, 18, 19.
Yeah, and you know
Mm-hmm.
what's interesting and why I appreciate you sharing this, and why I think a lot of people can resonate. When you have negative experiences like bullying,
Mm-hmm.
that can impact you long term. So it's not just, okay, you're no longer friends with them, it still has that residual impact, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what has your healing journey looked like from those horrible people?
Mm-hmm.
What does
Yeah.
your healing journey look like?
Lots of lamenting, lots of crying. When that day happened, when she said that to me, I literally told my friend, if this is what my life is going to be, I don't want it anymore.
Wow.
I was if all my life is going to be is a series of heartbreaks and feeling safe. If I cry, it's okay. I'm just an emotional person.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. It's an
but
emotional
like,
topic. It's just
yeah,
like, what betrayal.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
when I tell you that I loved those women. I loved those women. And like when we talk about soulmates and things like that, like I believe in soulmates, but they hardly ever have to do with romance. It's like people who see you and get you and behold you and like you feel safe with them. And I think for me, I had experienced so much darkness and heaviness and abuse in my life that I felt
Mhm.
like God put me on earth just to be abused and abandoned and just to be a catalyst for other people's lives. And I was just like, I don't want to be here anymore. My friend, I don't know how this happened, but my friend called my husband or something or however that happened, and my husband came home because I guess like he told her like keep talking to her until he got home. And I think from that moment, like this is this is my life. Like this is survival. And I can't
It's
be
very
attached to
dark.
these. Yeah, I can't be attached to these people and live. Like, this is
Mhm.
how you die. Like,
Mhm.
slowly chipping away at your self-esteem and your self-worth and your one
Like
and your
soul
will.
murder, right? They call it spirit
Yes.
murder. It's like soul murder.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, slowly, like dying, like when they say like dying of like 10,000 paper cuts, like that's what it felt
Mhm.
like until like this big blow when everything that was fractured finally fell apart. And
Mhm.
I think in some ways, and I believe in God, and I believe that God
Mhm.
snatched that relationship away because it was literally killing me. It was
Yes.
literally killing me. And
Yes.
even though it felt like death, it was death. It was a death of a relationship, a death of who I was in their mind or what I thought we had.
And
Um,
a death of believing in people who were not worthy of your trust, and
yes.
a death of shining your light around people who could not
Mm,
receive it, and it shined a light on their own misery, right?
yeah.
So God was like, "No, you don't deserve to be here,"
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yes,
And
I believe in God too. Yes.
to that point, right? I've and Marissa has talked about this too, being a truth teller, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
When you tell the truth, you're the first one to be assaulted. When you're the
Absolutely.
one, yes. When you are the light, the darkness tries to overtake you and overwhelm you.
Yes.
And I really felt like that was I was holding on so tightly because I'm like, no, like you, what happened to you that you're treating me like this? Right?
Yeah.
Like you're going through your own stuff, I'm making room for it, but that doesn't mean that I have to subject myself to your abuse.
Exactly. Exactly. Like I'm trying to have compassion for you,
Yeah.
but then you're abusing me in the process. And
Yes.
it gets to a point where you're right. Like this is going to break me.
Yeah. Yeah. And so from that point, I didn't pretend to be anything that I wasn't. In order to heal, I had to literally let that light shine on everything, like lay
Mhm.
bare everything. I'm so grateful to the friends that I had because they saved my life.
Yes.
Being
Yes.
able to call and cry and say, it's been a year, but it still hurts.
Yes.
On our anniversary of us crossing and saying, I miss my sisters, but I know it's better that I'm not friends with them. Like
Mhm.
leaving room for grief and also mourning what was, like the good that was, but also still having those friends hold me accountable in that they're like, no, you're not going to contact them. No, like we're not doing that. Let's hang out. Let's go to Applebee's or
They're your
something. Like,
protectors. They're your
yes.
protectors.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. And one of the people I hear you talk about is Marcus,
Yeah.
right? So can you tell us about Marcus and can you tell us about the friends you're talking about now,
Yeah.
ways that they stepped in and really helped you out of this?
Yeah. Marcus, my face lights up. Like that's one of my soulmates. That's my best friend. We have been friends since we were 14, since we were in
Oh,
elementary school.
wow.
Yeah, and we're 34 now. So we've been friends for wow, no, actually 12. So 22 years we've been friends because we met in middle school. And Marcus don't play that. Like Marcus is very he's the perfect like companion to me because sorry,
It's okay.
he reflects the truth about who I am even when it's hard for me to hear it. And like meaning my default is to blame myself for everything. Marcus
Mhm.
is the friend to be like, snap out of that. That's not you. Like,
So Marcus was brought to you. He was brought
yes.
to you to counter
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Yes.
I love that
Okay.
man. That's my friend. Like, and he knows that I deal with people pleasing because of my past. Like he understands who I am, and understands why I operate the way that I do, and I'll find myself apologizing for being human. He's like, stop doing that, stop apologizing, like and all of that is done from love. Like it might sound harsh. He's not a harsh person. We're joking when this is happening,
Yeah.
but he loves my soul. And I do, and when you say protector, like that brought tears to my eyes because yes, like when I struggle with anxiety and depression, and when I'm in my head,
Mhm.
it can be a mess in there. Like a lot of things. You need people that you can keep your eyes on. That are like,
Mhm.
keep your eyes on me. I got you. You're fine. You're fine. You're
Mhm.
not drowning. I'm not gonna let you drown. And so for him and my other friend Marquita, who I met at 14, that's who I met at 14. We were friends in high school. We had our lockers next to each other. And so these people saw the friends that I lost and they could see the things that were harming me too. And so they showed up when that hole was left in my heart, so to speak. Like they showed
Mhm.
up and filled that hole and reaffirmed to me that they trash as friends. Like their
And you know
friendship
what?
is trash.
That you're worthy and more than worthy. The fact that you had friends for that long,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
shows you
yeah,
that no, you're not the problem. They were the problem. But
yeah,
at the moment, you had found this so-called sisterhood
yeah,
that you believed in, and you had that betrayal.
yeah.
So Marcus and Marquita, is that correct, Marquita?
Yes, yes.
As you were going through this with the sister friends, they were saying to you, Alecia, these are not your friends.
Yeah.
What other things were they saying to you?
um that they have problems, that that they have problems they haven't worked out, and you don't have to be their punching bag.
Oh,
Saying things like, you are loved, like reminding me, when if my friends say to me, if the line sisters, I should say, if the line sisters say to me, you're a horrible person, you're too much, or whatever, I would find myself shrinking around my other friends, Marquita and Marcus and them, and they
mm,
would inspire me and encourage me to take up more space and more room. Holding space, calling me to check in, like where I don't have to reach out and talk about, like, how are you doing today? Like just basic stuff.
mhm,
Do you want to come to a concert with me? Sitting and listening to me cry.
mhm,
Okay, cry for
mhm.
years about this, because it was so traumatic. I should say
Yeah,
traumatic to me, traumatic
yeah.
for me, and them not rushing along my process. But when I tell you, like, even that healing process, being around people who love you and see you and
Mhm.
love you for, like, when I say we've been friends since 12, they've seen me in all my forms. They've seen me they've seen me ugly cry, they've seen me drunk, they've seen me angry, they've seen me making mistakes, and they still choose to love me. By
Yeah.
being around those people that love you for who you are and
Mhm,
your humanity was healing
mhm.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I go ahead, sorry.
No, no, go on, go on.
Oh
Go
no,
on.
no, yeah. I was just gonna say, like, to heal, I didn't rush the process. I didn't force myself to be anywhere that I wasn't. The healing is gonna take the time it takes.
Yeah.
Like there was no, because even when I think about like us being online, we went through a process together. Like we were
Mhm,
hazed together. You feel
mhm.
me? So like, so this, like, this deep connection that we had, was somehow broken. And now I'm not a line sister anymore. I'm a single person. And so my friends are meeting up together and they're taking pictures and I'm not in the pictures, and people are asking me, why weren't you there? Like, what's going on? Oh, I saw your line sister anniversary. Why weren't you, like,
Oh
having
God.
those things? Yeah. And then it's almost like reopening and having to explain, like, yeah, we're not really friends anymore.
Oh my
Um,
God. So that's still
yeah.
happening.
Not anymore, no. Not
Oh,
anymore, no. Yeah, because I think
okay.
I've made it clear to enough people that, yeah, we're
Okay.
not
So I was
friends.
gonna ask you, like, do you still have common friends with these
Oh
people?
yeah, yeah. We have common, I won't say friends, but like associates, common, line sisters, or line sisters, excuse me, sisters in the organizations, or brothers in the organization. But
Mhm.
when I tell them what happened, they're like, "Oh yeah, I could see that."
Wow.
Like, yeah, like, oh wow, like, so you could see that they were those kind of people. Even, like, yeah. So I don't know, yeah. So people have been seeing from the outside what is, and seeing that I didn't fit in there, and I was trying to make myself fit
Mhm.
somewhere because I wanted sisterhood, I wanted love. I don't have no
Yeah.
sisters.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So the people you said, these associates,
Hmm.
now they know, so they don't come and tell you about things, or they don't share with you about those people.
Yeah, I have one friend who does, and my husband told him to stop telling me stuff.
Good.
Because it's not helpful. It's like
Yeah.
you kind of like, even with, I don't want to call them enemies, all the people that we're not in relationship with anymore, that I'm not in relationship with anymore, I still
Mhm.
want good for them. I still want them to do well. Like I don't want any harm to find them. And so,
Mhm.
like, yeah, finding out, oh, such and such had a baby. Oh wow, that's amazing. But then there's also that grief of like, dang, I wish I could be a part of this, like, life changing experience, you know?
Yeah. It kind of like unearths the wound again to
Yes,
keep hearing
yes,
about these people, right?
yeah,
So this person no longer does that.
yeah. No, we don't talk
Okay.
about that anymore.
Okay, good. So, and I'm sorry I was going to interrupt you. I was thinking
That's okay.
about, you did a video at some point with Marcus and Marquita, because I saw it,
Yeah.
and I was just laughing at how they talked about like when you first met them,
Yes.
and but it sounds like from the beginning that they saw your light, right?
Yeah.
And so, can
Oh.
you share with everyone about how you came to meet them, and how they were like, wow, who is this person?
Yes. So I met, so Marcus I met my freshman year, my first year in middle school. I was scared because I was in a tag program. Shout out to the tag people. I was in talented and gifted program in my county, and so they have you in these like little cohorts. And I realized I wasn't going to be in the same cohort with the people I was used to in elementary school. So I had a lot of anxiety, and I was like, I don't know anybody. I'm starting over. Like, who's gonna like me? I was bullied at my elementary school, so I'm like, I'm not gonna make any friends. And I come across this quirky, fun, energetic, hilarious little boy at the time, little boy Marcus, and I realized like, oh, I can be weird here. Like I can be all of myself. Like when I tell you he accepted my weird, he made fun of it, of course, but like he also accepted my weird, and he was also weird, and we were all just like hanging out with weird people. There were a lot of weird people in the tag program. Weird in a good way, though. Like,
but it was like recognizing we're different, but not bullying.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly,
okay.
Exactly. And we, at 12 you're a kid, so like going through middle school and high school and then college and then now we're here. It's like, no, even though we're completely different people, we complement each other very well. Marcus at this point in his life will tell you that he has matured a lot since we first met. First, he was very spicy, very mean, and yeah. And I think like I helped soften him up, and in the same way, he helped me build better boundaries, right? Like, so we complemented each other in that way. Marquita, I met again in 2004. Wow, 2004. I was 14, and she and I had lockers near each other, but we met the summer before for a friend's birthday. And so when I saw her, I'm like, oh my gosh, Marquita, it's you. And so she's very cool and like, oh my gosh, relax. Like, but I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. Marquita, when I met her in high school, her mother, her sister, her family took me in. Like, they were so kind to me. Wow. At the time, my parents were going through a divorce or separation, I should say. And my mom was like, working, and so there was so many times where her mom took me home, and her mother has since passed on. Yeah, so her family brought me in, and they showed me like what a healthy whole family was. I got to experience family in a way I didn't get to experience at home. And Marquita knew what I was going through, and even though she was like, you're a lot, but I love you, like and we were able to connect on music and just like heartfelt things that I was able to talk about her with, that other people wouldn't get, that other people didn't get, I should say. Yeah. So I really do believe that they were angels sent in my life. They are my soulmates for real.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that, right? So these people who are saying to you, you are too much, your true friends were able to see, no, you are just enough. Like when we vibe with you and we affirm you and we're here for you and we have your back in ways that you wanted these other people to be there, right?
Yes.
And what's so interesting, Alecia, is I've been listening to you talk. You talked about childhood trauma, you talked about bullying in school, and you talked about the sorority bullying, right? Were there any parallels in terms of those experiences? And what were they?
Oh, yes. In a way, I felt like, I think that's why I got to that point where I was like, I don't want to live anymore if this is all it's going to be, because that's all it felt like it was. Like I would feel safe with someone, i.e. my parent or a friend from school. And then they would just turn on me like that for no apparent reason that I could see. And I would just be left like bewildered. Like what happened? Like I think about my father, for example. My father was abusive, and I was a daddy's girl. Like you couldn't like. I felt so safe in his love. I felt like so small, and he felt so big. And then one day, he just turned into a monster. Like, and obviously there were other things happening that I couldn't see as a kid. But like for me, that experience was like, wait a minute, what happened?
It's terrifying, traumatic.
Yes. And so I think for me, there are a lot of parallels, and I'm still trying to figure out what exactly that means. And and trying to make sense of stuff sometimes it's hard because people people have their own stuff going on. But I think the parallels that I saw was that in those circumstances I felt like I didn't have a voice, and that I wasn't loved, and because I wasn't loved, then I wasn't allowed to take up space or be centered. I never centered myself. I'm still learning how to center myself today. I wasn't able to center myself in those circumstances. It was always like, what did I do wrong? How can I fix it? As opposed to like, oh, you offended me. I'm allowed to be offended and walk away. Like,
Okay.
so I think those were the parallels, but I also feel like in a way I didn't have the practice for boundaries and things like that, so I really didn't know what I was doing. Like I
Good
just
point, right?
yeah.
The boundaries and not being able to say certain things to people because, again, the people pleasing, right?
Yes.
So if I do
Yes.
certain things, then maybe this will make it better, but it
Yes.
really wouldn't make it better because the problem was those other people. And
Yes.
so when you think about all that you've gone through, and thank God again for Marcus and
Yes.
Rashida. So for new friendships, you said
Mhm.
that you still have this feeling or questioning like are they going to really like me or how do I show up as myself and how do I so how what are some of the ways you're working through that or addressing that?
Honestly, practicing being seen, which is not fun. It's not, I mean, it's fun, but it's not easy, I should say. It's not easy. Showing up to spaces that I'm invited to, not like somebody will invite me to something and I almost won't go because I'm like, well, I don't really know if I'm good. It's never about them. It's never about like, oh, I'm not going to like them. It's not good. It's always like, I don't know if they're going to like me. I think even on my YouTube channel, like, I think people see me there and I'm grateful for the kindness and all these other things, but I'm also like, there's also this lingering voice in the back of my mind, like, oh, they're gonna find out, and they're gonna leave, right? It's like from the remnants of like the past experiences.
Yeah.
So I think to practice, I show up in spaces to prove to
Mhm.
myself that that's not true. Like, so
Ah,
I literally have to do that. I have to, like, my husband will tell you, I be having whole panic attacks before like hanging out with somebody virtually or even going live. Like I'm literally like, I hope what I say comes across well, and I hope I make sense. I hope I'm helpful. I hope I'm helpful to Dr. Kimani, and having those people reflect back to you. You're gonna be fine. You're okay. Like
yeah.
you're safe.
No. You're more than okay.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
more than okay, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, when I watch your videos, I am just inspired. I'm drawn
Mm.
to it, all these other things. And what I appreciate about you so much, Alecia, is that you are so authentic and you share about your true experiences. And to me, I feel like you are connecting to that little girl
Mm.
and
Yeah.
you're healing her and you're talking about and you're doing things that bring you joy and you're
Yes.
modeling that for us, right?
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
and as we get a certain age, think like, oh, that's too. No, we can still connect to her because she's
Yes.
still in there. And so it's very interesting that even though you get this positive response from YouTube, and that's one of my questions too, because I think that like you're saying, YouTube has been therapeutic for you in some ways, right? Being able to
Mhm.
share your story and show up in the space that you want to. But what's interesting is that you get so much positive feedback but still that inner voice
Yeah.
questioning,
Yeah.
questioning.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah. So
wow.
it's a work in progress,
Yes.
and again, like I thought that by suppressing my feelings and pretending they weren't there would make me feel better. And no, like those feelings need to be seen. Like, why do I feel that way? What is the worst case scenario? If I go live with you and I do an awful job, what's the worst case scenario? Right. And
Yeah.
allowing myself to go there, like Dr. Kimani's not going to come through the screen and cuss you out. Like that's not, that's not going to happen.
Not
Right.
at all. Not at all. Not at
Right.
all. And hopefully you can see in the chat. The chat is like making positive
Oh,
comments and commenting all that. So you're getting positive confirmation,
yeah.
but because of your experiences, it's kind of it filters
Yeah.
what you receive, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so when you think about your healing now, everybody, I was leery about contacting Alecia because she's on sabbatical. So I was like, oh my God. So I saw a schedule, I was like, oh no. So I texted
Yes.
Marissa, is it okay to contact her? Because she's on sabbatical. So I want to respect your time.
I appreciate
Can
that.
you
But yeah.
talk about, because I think a lot of Black women are like sabbatical. Like, do
Mm.
we do that? Do Black women do that?
Yeah.
Just describe what a sabbatical is.
Hmm.
What does it look like for you? And in what ways it's healing for you as well?
Hmm. Ooh, I love this question. Okay. I want to answer the last one. Well, first of all,
Okay.
okay, what is a sabbatical? A sabbatical is a break. Like that's what I'm taking it for myself as, like a break from doing and laboring and trying and striving. I've been a full-time artist for 8 years. I'm tired. I'm tired of, I love creating, but then
Yeah.
having to market it and then having to sell it and then having to stay afloat and stay alive.
All
that
the
can be
things.
exhausting. Yes, that can be
Yeah.
exhausting. But I never had a period of time where I did nothing, where I was able to, like, I spent a lot of my time surviving in life. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time surviving, whether abusive parents or partners or things, or just trying to like survive capitalism, you know?
Yeah.
And that takes a toll on you. Like you don't really get to center yourself. You don't really get to see. And I keep saying center myself because like that's what I'm really intentional about in this season of my life. I've censored everyone else for my entire life. This is the
Mm.
first time in my life that I am actually focusing on me. And what I really want to focus on is my joy. So like during the sabbatical, I'll be focusing on joy. Doing joyful things, doing things just because it makes me happy. Like last week we talked about like why your body is beautiful, and it was just like listing all these thoughts that I have about why the body is beautiful, or yeah, like just having fun and going back to that childhood self who wasn't safe, and trying to like reclaim her and allow her to be like it's safe to have fun again. Like you're
Yes.
safe to have
Oh,
fun, you
oh my
know?
God. Okay. Can you repeat that again? That was so
Yeah.
profound.
Oh yeah. So going back to, I'm taking this time like to experience my joy and to go back to my child self and say like it's safe to have fun again. I think when you're a kid and you're surviving in like a an abusive household, you hide. You do a
Yeah.
lot of hiding and you don't want
Yeah.
to rock the boat. You can't have too much fun because it's going to irritate the wrong person, and
Oh,
that could set things off.
yeah.
And now that I'm an adult, I realize like I am my mother, I am my father, I am my parent, and I have to take care of myself. I wasn't just put on earth to help other people. I wasn't just put on earth to serve or to labor. Like I was put on earth to have fun and enjoy. And if everybody else can enjoy, why can't I? So
Mhm.
so I'm doing that. And to that, you said, how's this healing me? Yes.
Yeah.
So it's healing me because first of all, it's hard. Let's start there. It's hard to rest when you're used to doing all the time.
Hmm.
And even
Our
resting,
society is telling you that white supremacy, girl, you got to work, girl, you got to grind, you got
yes.
to, yeah. I'm rejecting
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yes. And then I'm also used to laboring in relationships for love. I'm used to like laboring wasn't just making money for me, it was keeping me safe. Like it was, and now I'm in a place where I'm just like, shout out to the Vacarian, Stephanie Perry
Yes.
sponsored. Yes. I appreciate all of you all. Sponsored my sabbatical so that I can rest. And it's allowing me, yes, I'm so excited. And I'm so grateful. And it's allowing me to really like interrogate the spaces of me that have been put to the side because I was surviving. I wasn't able to, can't deal with that right now, girl, gotta pay bills. Can't deal with that right now. Don't
Mhm.
have the emotional bandwidth because you're tired, you know? And so now I can really look at those things and be honest and put like a magnifying glass on those things. But also I get to rest in love. I get to rest in the love that I have for myself. Like I'm actually finding out that I'm actually a really dope person. Like,
Stand
and it
that dopeness. Yes. Yes, you are.
period.
Yes.
Like I am kind, I am hilarious. I be cracking myself up. I am generous, I am thoughtful, and I am so sad that I spent so many years looking at myself like I was unworthy, like somehow I was a problem. And it's like,
Mm,
Alecia, you were never a problem.
mm-mm.
So this
And you know
time,
what?
mhm.
I'm sorry, can I say
No,
this?
no, please, please.
The fact that people were trying so hard to make you think that you were not, that is the part that is so disturbing, right? And I think that many of us have been around people like that, but because of our own unhealed selves, right? Parts of ourselves, our own unhealed history, sometimes we allow for these things, right? These sorority people, but I've also had people in my life, right? Because of things that I've gone through in my childhood, that I would give people passes, or I would say, oh, well, they've gone through a lot, or oh, you know what, it's not that bad. Even staying in a toxic job, the whole thing. But I think a lot of times these unresolved issues in our childhood show up in our relationships, staying at these jobs, these friendships, all these things, and we start recognizing, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. I'm dope. Why am I here? Why am I dealing with this nonsense? What is that about? But sometimes it takes a process for us to connect to that, to connect to, no, wait a minute, I am dope, right? So now that you know just how dope you are, now that you know there are things that you will and will not tolerate anymore in terms of boundaries, now you're coming into your power. right? So now you're like out there, YouTube, talking your talk, doing your stuff, modeling for Black women. Oh my God, I love what you said about it's safe now to connect to your joy, because I think so many Black women are not safe. They feel like they're always in survival mode. So they feel like they can't even access joy, or I joy, what is that? Like, what are you talking about? I got things to do. I got bills to pay. But what we're saying is you can still experience joy, but you need to experience safety first.
Ooh,
Yes,
that's
yes,
good.
yes.
Yeah.
Alecia, oh my God. Can you share for people who are not familiar with the Vicarians and Stephanie Perry? Can you
Yes.
please share about Stephanie Perry, the
Yes.
Vicarians, and how they supported your sabbatical?
Yes. Okay. So, trying to think of what year that was, but so I found Stephanie Perry. I don't even know how I found her. Like, I found her how everybody kind of finds her. It's like
On YouTube
you find her and
world,
you've fallen, right?
yes.
Yeah. So
God brought us to her, right? Just revealed
yes.
her to us. Yes.
Yes, yes. And I was like, she's so dope. Like she's so dope. So I started following her and other people like Rashida Dow and Picky Girl
Uh-huh.
Travels the World. And like it just opened my mind to like, oh, there's another possibility out there. And these women generally speak about like taking a sabbatical or taking a gap year, an adult gap year, or moving abroad. And their goal and focus is for Black women specifically to be free to live their lives and to live their lives. Adelia says, oh man, I can't think of the phrase that she says, but she wants women to be able to live life on their own terms.
Oh, yes.
And so yeah, so I was like, wow, I was fascinated because that's exactly like it piqued something in me, like, huh, like okay, my interest is here. And then I saw Stephanie put together money for or gathered money from the Vicarians, which are the people who follow Stephanie's
Yeah.
community, to put money together to help a Black woman go on sabbatical and go abroad. And
Mm-hmm.
so that year, Maisha Francis was picked to
Mm-hmm.
go on sabbatical, and she was in Rwanda, which was
Mm-hmm.
dope. And
Mm-hmm.
then the following year, Stephanie emailed me and was like, "Yeah, so the Vicarians voted, and they want you to be the next sabbatical person." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you," because I was so tired. I was
Yes.
so tired, and it's so much kindness when I
Mm-hmm.
think about that, like women coming together to
Mm-hmm.
see
Black
to
women
it,
coming together,
Black
uplift each
women,
other. Yes.
yes, to come.
Now,
That's
that's
why.
sisterhood.
Yes,
Yes.
that is sisterhood. That is
Mm-hmm.
sisterhood. Coming
Mm-hmm.
together for the well-being of other Black women. Even if it's not a
Yeah.
sabbatical, the videos they create, the programs they create. Like it's all about, and even you, Dr. Kimani, and Marissa in
Mm-hmm.
the chat.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like you all liberating other Black women. Like it's all from a place of love, right? It's just
Mm-hmm.
I want to see you well, I want to see you free. Um
Absolutely.
and so yeah, so I'm able to at this point go on sabbatical to wherever I'm going. Right now I'm just resting. I'm in a resting period.
Good.
I think Rashida said something today to the effect of like, you don't know how tired you are. You're more whatever, however tired you are, you're more tired than that. That is
Mm.
so true.
Ooh.
That is so true.
Ooh. So true.
It's so true. So
So
yes,
true.
like
Add more to it. Yes.
yes, yes. So I thought that I was like, oh, I'm gonna go on sabbatical. I'm gonna create all these works of arts, and I'm like, LOL, girl, you're in bed today, and you don't have any energy to do anything else, and that's also okay, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not a failure because you're not doing, you
Yeah.
know.
So a revolutionary way of thinking for us as Black people, thinking for
Hmm.
Black women, that we don't always have to be working and grinding and all that kind of stuff. And we could support other ones of us taking
Yeah,
a rest, which
yeah,
is really powerful too. Yes.
yes,
So the
yes.
power of rest. So Alecia, if there's a Black woman watching right now and she can relate to anything you're saying, maybe she's in the middle of going through something where people are treating her foul, her so-called friends, or she's going through bullying with a friend group. What words of wisdom could you offer her?
This is not the best there is for you.
Mm,
I know like there's this idea like, well, this is what I have now. I'm afraid to lose this because I don't know what else is out there. There is better out there. That you deserve better. Like you didn't come here to suffer. You didn't come here to grin and bear it. You didn't come here to bid your time until you die. Like you
mhm,
deserve real love. You deserve real care. You deserve to be centered. Like you deserve for people to be careful with you, to be gentle with you. Like you
mhm.
deserve that. You deserve to full belly laugh and not worry about if somebody's going to stab you in the back. And
Oh,
so if you're living in that reality, I empathize with you. I get it. I've been there. You know what I
yeah.
mean? But like, you are your best advocate. You are your you are your main focus. Like if you
Mhm.
are not well, nothing else will be well. And you don't
Mhm.
have to suffer to be loved. Suffering is
Mhm.
not the price you have to pay for love.
Mm.
I wrote this like so to heal from the breakup. I wrote
Mhm.
2 books.
What?
I yeah, like or it's like poetry. I'm not gonna downplay it. I
Wow.
wrote 2 books. Like yeah, I wrote 2 books. I made a whole album called Matter, and that's what this book is based off of. Um, put it to art, put it to paper,
What is
voice
the name of the
record.
books?
Oh, Matter. So Matter is the first book, and then I did a book. I didn't really put it out there because it was just more for me. But Healing in Haikus, and
Oh.
yes. So this was what 2019, I think. And so there were poems that I wrote about my experience that I felt, and I wanted to validate that for myself. Can I read like one part?
Absolutely. Oh,
Okay,
yes.
sorry.
Please do. It's
Yes,
like a bonus.
that's
Yes.
funny. Okay, yes. Okay, so one thing that I wrote down, and these are like journal entries, but I said, it is concerning that for so long I have been lauded and celebrated for making myself low, for shrinking down to be manipulated in palms, marked as humble for being self deprecating, lovable for not loving myself, and no one batted an eye when I felt myself disappearing, dying, suffocating, but cut me down when I finally breathed, reached, and stretched. There was no celebration. For self love, for boundaries, for strength, for choosing life over death, just a funeral and a sea of goodbyes. So like for me, if
Wow.
you are in a relationship, I don't care if it's for friends,
Wow.
family, or something, like you don't have to apologize for being broken. Like you don't have to apologize for being hurt. You also don't have to apologize to the person who hurt you. Like to make them when you were talking earlier about for you like, oh, letting things go and things like that. Like I'm like, okay, well, this is what happens in relationships. No, that's not
Mhm.
normal.
Right.
Relationships are not devastating.
Right. Oh,
They're not
no.
devastating.
No.
Yeah.
No. If they make you feel bad about yourself, right?
Yes.
There's a line between people giving you so-called feedback with
Yes.
somebody breaking you down, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
you feel it in your soul, like that did not feel good. Like that felt like harmful, like they were really trying
Yes.
to like, you know,
Yeah.
do something. So being able to distinguish that, and
Hmm.
where can we get these books?
Oh, you can. I guess you can get them on Amazon. You
Okay.
not. I guess you can. You can get them on Amazon. Healing and Haiku should be there too. But that was,
Okay.
I hope that you enjoy
Beautiful.
them. But
Beautiful.
I did want to. This is the photo that I was talking about sitting in a spoon. I hope that you all can. Like this is what it
Oh,
felt like for me.
did you draw that?
Oh no, this is a photo. This is a photo manipulation.
Oh,
So yeah, so I
wow.
did this in Photoshop. But
That
yeah,
is beautiful. Oh my
thank you,
God. And the
thank you.
symbolism, right?
Yeah.
The symbolism not only of like making yourself small,
Yes.
but the symbolism also that people are devouring you,
Yes. Yes.
right? They're devouring everything about you and there's nothing
Yeah.
left. And it's like you're self-sacrificing.
Yes. Yes. Mm.
Oh God. Okay. So
And
I'm
to
gonna
that, oh sorry,
go on, go on, go on,
to
go
that,
on.
you're no one's God. You don't have to die for them.
That part.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. So I'm gonna put your books in the I had no idea. Those were
Thank you.
absolutely that was beautiful. And
Thank
that
you.
imagery really captures what we're saying, right?
Mm.
So if there's a black woman watching and she's feeling some kind of way about the people she's around,
Yeah.
doesn't feel well in her spirit, her soul, you would just say to her, like, pause and really reflect on these so-called friendships.
Yeah. And also treat yourself like you would your child, right? Like
Oh,
would you if you had a daughter or whoever's watching a son, whoever, right? If
yeah,
you had a child and they
yeah.
were being treated the way that you were being treated, what would you say and do?
Oh,
Like you would want to rescue your child. You would want to
right,
go up to the school and who I got to talk to, right? Like
right.
you deserve that same like ferocious love, even if it is only coming from you. Like
Oh,
you deserve that. And I think that's what I'm
absolutely.
stepping into, like not being afraid of being angry, not being afraid of appearing angry. Also, that's a whole other thing, the angry black woman. But like, yes, I am angry. And what about it?
And
And
right
absolutely
to.
not.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly, exactly.
Yes.
So, Alicia, as a reminder, I'm going to read the community chat, but
Okay.
also, can you share a little bit more about your YouTube
Yes.
channel, about I know you're on sabbatical, but your community when you have the community,
Yes.
what that is, your art, your music, all things Alicia. Can you please
Thank
share?
you. Yes, yes. Thank you for asking. So on YouTube, you can find me at Alecia Renece The Artist. That's where I be. On my channel, you can find me having fun at this point. I'm talking about things I want to talk about. I'm thinking about starting a live stream kind of show thing, just like having fun and being joyful and talking about
Oh,
love and all my feelings.
okay.
And yeah, conversational series, all those kinds of things. I make music. I love singing, love writing songs, love sharing my music with other people. You can find a lot of songs there. I've been recently making music videos, and that has been a lot of fun.
Really?
Yeah, I made two. I made two music videos for my EP Breathe. So, oh, thank you, Marissa. Appreciate that. So for the first two singles on my EP Breathe, I've made music videos, and I'm taking my time because I wanna create art. I think for YouTube it can be very easy to get caught up in like, oh, it has to be like on topic, and I gotta censor other people. For me, like, I'm just in a stage where I'm just having fun, and if you like it, follow me. So there's that. And
Yeah.
yeah, so when I open the group The Garden, I have a community called The Garden, and it's for creative Black women. We come together, we create together, we share thoughts together, we work through our limiting beliefs and our fears. We celebrate each other, which is one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. So yeah, so when I rest and feel revived and like restored, then I hope to open that again. But for now, the focus is on me,
Yes.
and that's exciting. So
Yes.
yay.
So once you're finished with sabbatical,
Mhm.
if Black women are interested in joining the
Oh,
garden, which I love because I
yes.
love gardens,
Yes.
so how would they find out about the garden or how would
Yes.
they know?
Great question. So I guess I can give you the email list link. If So the email list link is for my email, but I'll be sure to tell you like when it's for those who sign up. I'll be able to tell you when it's open again.
Okay.
Give me one sec. I am so sorry. I should have
Okay.
had
No
this.
problem. So as you do that, I'm going to start reading the community chat and then I could
Yay.
just post it on the screen and put in the
Oh,
description section. Oh, yeah.
can I share one more thing? I'm so
Yes.
sorry. I'm also
Yes.
working on a project. I'm working on a project, and I'll put the link, I guess, here. Called the Love Letter Project, where Black women are writing in love letters to their younger selves. And then, so
Oh,
the last day to do it is December 31st. So if you want to participate, please send in your love letters, and then I will put it together with the help of other people. Bless you for helping me to edit them, to put them together in a book, and then hopefully by the end of the first quarter, thank you, by the end of the first quarter next year, I hope to have the book out so that my vision, the thing that's keeping me excited, is imagining a Black woman somewhere picking up this book and getting so much encouragement and tips and love from random Black women from all over the world. Like that's one thing I'm really really excited about. That's one thing I'm working on for the sabbatical. But yes.
I just want to say, like, to me, hearing that, that personifies you to me. You radiate love and joy, honestly. You do.
Thank you.
And just hearing that you're doing that for other Black women, oh, I love it. I
Thank
love it.
you.
I love
That's so
it.
sweet.
Okay. So everybody, I have Alicia's information here and then about the garden
Thank you.
here. And then I'll
Thank
kind
you,
of go back and
Marissa.
forth between the YouTube channel, the garden, and the love letters. Okay.
Yay.
So I'm going to
Yes.
read the community chat because you guys have been so kind. Shout out to all you phenomenal sisters. Hello, everyone. Good evening. So excited to hear Alicia. Yes. Love this topic. I'm going through this now. A 30-year friendship. Ooh,
I
yeah.
am so sorry. I'm sending you so
Oh,
much love. Yeah, that's hard.
yes, it is. Ooh, happening between me and my brother right now. Wow. Friendship breakups are extremely triggering and traumatic for me. Two women I know went to friendship counseling therapy, which saved their relationship. Yes, and I think that can be powerful if the two people are invested and that there's a mutual love and respect, right? And they can be honest. But yeah, and Alicia's situation was so different. But yeah, I think it really depends on that. That's so appalling. They weren't your friends. It's so isolating when you're surrounded by people like that. I'm so sorry. There are no words. Wow, I'm the help. Haters. They were gaslighting you. So sorry, sister. When we're taught to question our intuition as children, it sets up to question ourselves in toxic environments. Yes. Oh, my dear friend Colette Elizabeth is here. Hey, sis. Hello to my favorite people. I'm so sorry. Oh, question. What did your husband say about the abuser?
Oh,
I guess it was like a sorority abuser, I guess. The main one. So it was a main girl, right? It was a main mean girl, right?
hmm
Yeah.
um
Uh-huh.
he didn't like them. So he, in general, I think that he was just kind of like, okay, I'm married to you and you hang out with these people, cool, right? But I don't think that he was ever like, I trust these people. So because when we first met and started dating, a whole blow up happened where my line sister was blaming me again for the sexual assault. And so he was in the car. He was DD. He was in the car witnessing it all happen. And I think from that point on, he was like, yeah, no, they're dead to me. Like
Wow.
that's so disrespectful.
Wow.
But yeah, so he was never too. He was like, oh, he'll keep it cute, but that's about it, you know.
Yes. So he saw the true ugly in them.
Oh yeah, oh yes,
In full
yes,
form. Okay.
yeah.
Wow, what horrible people. What? The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness cannot comprehend it. Yes. They
Hmm.
wanted to dim your light, Alecia. Yes, they did, but they couldn't do it because her light
Hmm.
is too bright.
Yes.
Say it. Oh my goodness, Alecia. I feel like those people really missed out on getting to know one of the most beautiful souls God ever created. I want to personally thank you for sharing your brilliance with us. Oh, that's so sweet, Alecia.
That's
And
so
then
sweet.
that's Colette Elizabeth. Okay,
Thank you,
Alicia, you
Colette.
are pure light. They were sisters for a season and sisters for a reason to teach you something, leftover work to do. The trick of the enemy, which is Satan, is to kill, steal, and destroy. And he will use individuals close to you to get the job done. So true. I don't have sisters either. I always wanted sisters. I had a group friendship breakup in college. I created healthy boundaries for myself and then moved on. Yeah, it is painful though. It is. I'm late tuning in and multitasking tonight, but here because I love Alecia Renece. So glad that you are here. So you can watch the replay for whatever you missed. Walk yourself through the worst case scenario. It's safe to have fun again. Authentic, self shining so bright. Rest in love, beautiful. Ooh, overlooking the red flags. Hey, hey, hey. I listen to Ease on repeat. It is okay. So I have Alicia's books here. Oh, Marissa, you are so dope. Okay,
Marissa is on
so
it. Okay.
she is on it. So this is where you can get all of Alicia's books, and I'll put that in the description section as well. I love your nervous giggle, Alecia. It is so endearing and inspiring. Your courage is infectious. Oh, I love it. Okay, so remember, subscribe to Alicia's channel. That's her YouTube channel. Yay, live stream show. That sounds exciting. And then the waiting list for the garden is right there. And then the love letters is right here. Okay. So everyone, I'll put all that information in the description section. I see you, Marissa. Thank you for the conversation. Thank you, Marissa. You are on it as usual. So everyone, thank you so much for watching. Please check out Alecia Renece. She has so much to share with us, and I just appreciate her so much. I love her work, and she just, again, to me, she radiates love and joy completely. Okay. So I'm so happy to have her here. And Alecia, any last words before we end today?
One, I want to say thank you. I really, that was really sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody in the chat for being so kind. I will sit and let these words marinate because I'm usually used to deflecting compliments like, no, no, you. But I appreciate this, this outpouring of love. It really
Yeah.
is, it's healing. So thank you
Yeah.
so much for that. Last words is to love yourself. Like, learn to love yourself. I'm learning. It's not as simple as just like, oh, just love yourself, right? But like, see yourself as worthy of everything good. You're
Yeah.
made of everything good. You deserve everything good.
So
And you
true.
deserve love that is true, that is healing. And you don't deserve to be gaslit in your friendships or harmed, you know?
No.
That's not the price that you have to pay for friendship.
Exactly. And there's people around you who don't affirm you in that way.
Yeah.
Those are not really your friends. And then I
Yeah.
want to also say something else that you embody, Alecia. So I'm going to quote Glamazini, who said that she's healing out loud. And you are
Hmm.
an example of that as well. So
Thank
I think
you.
when you heal out loud and you're honest and transparent, that helps other Black women as well. So I
Thank you.
so appreciate you.
Thank
And
you.
everyone, thank you so much for watching. Again,
Yes.
subscribe to Alicia's channel, subscribe to my channel, turn the
Yes.
notification bell so you know when we go on live or we upload something. Give this video a thumbs up and please share this video with at least two other Black women.
Yay.
Okay. So I will see you all later. Alecia,
Yes.
can you stay on? And I
Absolutely.
will see you later. Bye, everyone.